This is YouTube channel Prepping with Sarge, and we're going to talk all about blueberries today. Hey guys, welcome back to Prepping with Sarge. So you want to grow blueberries? Well, me too. It's actually my favorite fruit. I've been growing it for over 11 years. I'm going to tell you a couple little tricks that I think you need to know for end of winter, early spring, just to kind of make sure your blueberries are off to a good start. Stay with me now. All right, thank you so much for staying with me. So let's talk a little bit about blueberries. So I have a couple blueberries behind me right here, and I have some more over here on this side that I'm going to show you. I've been growing blueberries for about 11 years, and they do pretty well in acidic soil. So that's the first thing. If you don't have acidic soil, I'm going to show you a supplement that I think you should add in. This is just a little supplement that you can add into the soil to help bring up the acidity. I remember when I was living in Kentucky, I tried to grow some blueberry bushes over there, and I had a little bit of trouble because the soil there was very, very alkaline. So it took me a little while to figure that process out and get the pH right. But once I started adding, I moved my blueberries into containers, and once I started adding some acidifier to supplement what was in there, they actually started doing really, really well. So as you can see behind me here, these blueberry plants are actually blooming really nice this year. I should get a good crop. Let me show you the other ones here. I'm going to move the camera here and show you a different angle. All right, so I have some blueberry plants over here that this is my main row of them, and they're different sizes because they were planted at different times. But you can see they're blooming really nice. It looks like I'm going to get a good crop this year, but let's talk about this. We have a big butt. So what is this thing behind me that you see? Look at this one down here, just a little guy, and he's just blooming fantastic. All right, man, I love blueberries so much. All right, so what is this thing, this green blanket-like thing behind me? This is actually called a planket, and I'm gonna link that in the description down below. Now, why is the planket important for blueberries? Well, when you get to this point, right, where they are, let's get a nice picture of those flowers. And by the way, blueberries are one of the pollen from blueberries is one of the first sources of food for the bees in the springtime. So if you plant blueberry bushes, you will see all kinds of bees because they come looking for some food when they wake up out of their hibernation. But so here's the issue. This planket is actually used when we have, I put this over the plants, I cover up the plants when the weather is predicted to be 40 degrees or below. Now you don't have to do this all the winter long, but when it's flowering, you do, because this is the dangerous point. Okay, see those flowers? We need the bees to go in there and hit that, and it'll start to bud, and that's what will start to develop into the blueberries. Okay, it'll start to fruit. But if you get frosts during this period or during the initial stages of budding, when it, actually here's the buds, I'm sorry, I'm not explaining this right. During the initial stages of fruit development, what will happen is the frost can actually kill this off and you'll lose portion or all of your crop. Now the planket, what that does is if you cover your plants when a big frost is predicted like that, it will give it some protection. Now, if you get several days in a row during this time period of the flowering and fruiting where the temperatures drop down into the low 30s, the plankets can only do so much, and then you might have to start thinking about alternative treatments, such as putting hot water bottles at the base of the plant, adding more mulch. And if you have a big crop that you sell and your income is dependent on it, you may even have to do like heat lamps or something like that. Now, I don't sell mine, they're for our personal consumption for my family. So basically what we do is we try to work with the plankets, and we hope that Mother Nature cooperates, and a lot of times this will save our crop. So I will link the plankets in my description below. I've been using those for several years with really good results. I'm happy to recommend it. I think it's a good product. Now let's go back here. I want to show you something else. Two other products, not the sugar. We're going to talk about that in a second. Two other products that I recommend that I use every year on my blueberries is, you've heard me talk about this fertilizer before. This is an organic, slow release pellet style fertilizer. So all you have to do is basically, you can put on gloves and do this with hand, throw it at the base of the blueberries. Or what I do for my blueberries is I mix this with the soil acidifier. Now I'm gonna link, if I can find that one on Amazon, I will link that one. This one I know is on Amazon, and I will try to give you links to both of these products. I mix them together in a shaker container like that, and then I just kind of go around and sprinkle around the bases of my plants. And the time to do this, in my opinion, is before it starts flowering. So I actually did mine a couple weeks ago. If you're in the north, you still have time to do this. If you're in the south, you can do it during flowering. That's fine. And then I'll do it again after we've harvested, and then once more in the fall. Okay, so I do it like 3 times a year. So right now, if you're watching this, it's like late winter, early spring. It's a good time to do this. What you're doing is you're giving them a little bit of a nutrient boost right before they go into fruit production, which is great. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Blueberries are really low maintenance. Basically, all I do is if we get some kind of a drought, I water them, but otherwise I let the rain take care of it. They tend to adapt pretty well to your soil conditions and well, not your soil conditions, but your sunlight conditions. So there's actually, this area here doesn't get a ton of sunlight, but look at how much flowering I'm getting on these. Okay. Now the soil conditions, they have a harder time adapting to, and that's why you may have to use that acidifier right there. Okay. All right. So any other questions that you've got, please go ahead and comment down below. I have at least one other video about blueberries that I can remember. I mean, I've got over 150 videos now, so it's hard to remember, but I know there's one out there that was pretty decent. I'm gonna link that up here somewhere, and I will also put it in the end card for you, so you can check that one out as well. And in the comment section down below, if you've been growing blueberries, if you got any tips for me, I'd love to hear them. And if you're still with me, thank you so much for watching the video. Please remember to drop a like. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I drop videos at least twice a week, always topics related to preparedness, food self-sufficiency, financial survival, wilderness survival, foraging. Sometimes I do some knife reviews. Basically, preparedness, homesteading, survivalism is kind of the niche that I'm working within, okay? Keep planting your seeds, keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge.